The woman simply gave the little boy a piece of bread in the heavy rain, and recognized him as her godson. This kindness stayed with the boy for a whole decade. 10 years later, when the woman was homeless, the boy, now successful and famous, instantly recognized her sitting by the roadside. He hurried over to greet her, and took her back to his home. It turned out that the woman had heard her daughter-in-law was pregnant, and came to the city to visit her son and daughter-in-law. But her son, now wealthy, looked down on her background, and even lied to his wife, saying the woman was just a neighbor. Years ago, in order to marry into a rich family, the son had lied that he was an orphan, and had never allowed the woman to visit him. Luckily, now he had found the CEO who still remembered her. At that moment, the CEO's wife brought out the scarf the woman had given her. When the woman saw it, she was deeply moved. The CEO's wife then told her to rest while she went to prepare some food. The CEO also got up to help. At that moment, the woman's phone suddenly rang. It was a message from her son, telling her not to wander around. The woman had no choice but to leave without saying goodbye. When she arrived, her son, with a look of disdain, told her to stay at his house for a few days, and help take care of her grandson. The woman, excited, said she could finally see her eldest grandson. However, as soon as she entered the house, her son looked at her with complete disdain. He handed her a pair of shoe covers, worried she might dirty the floors. The woman recalled the time she had visited the CEO's house, and how she felt nervous about dirtying the immaculate floors, but the CEO's wife had reassured her, saying floors were meant to be walked on. Yet now, her own son treated her this way. Just then, her eldest grandson came out. The woman was about to greet him, but her daughter-in-law jumped in, asking her son who the woman was. Her son quickly said the woman was just their temporary maid. The woman then realized she had been brought in to replace the regular maid, who had something else to do. Hearing this, her daughter-in-law sneered at her, criticizing her for lacking manners, and even complained about the sweat on her making the house dirty. She ordered the woman to go wash up. In order to spend a few days with her grandson, the woman hid her true identity, and became a maid for the family. She had to take care of everyone's meals and daily needs, while often being scolded by her daughter-in-law. She wasn't even allowed to eat with them. Meanwhile, her son, instead of feeling guilty, spent his days fawning over his mother-in-law. After the CEO finished cooking, he realized the woman had disappeared. He found a note she had left behind. Knowing how outrageous her son was, the CEO figured the woman would be suffering there. So, he immediately took his wife and rushed to the woman's location. Sure enough, at her son's house, the daughter-in-law had discovered her ring was missing, and since the woman was the only outsider in the house, she immediately assumed the woman had stolen it. Furious, the daughter-in-law led the entire family to confront the woman. The woman had no idea what they were saying, but the daughter-in-law immediately started to search her things, throwing everything the woman brought on the floor, but couldn't find the ring. The daughter-in-law insisted the ring was still on the woman, and her son agreed to let them search her. Under pressure from his wife and daughter-in-law, the son actually moved to have the woman undress. The woman, feeling utterly humiliated, stood up angrily and began taking off her clothes herself. When she finished removing her outerwear, there was no sign of the ring. However, the daughter-in-law still insisted the woman had stolen it, and suggested they call the police to check the surveillance footage. Hearing this, the son feared that the police would discover the woman